next level.
Hello, hello. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. This is Coach Tiffany Para, editor in chief of Phoenix Fitness Fanatics magazine, elevating your mind, body, and spirit. We are taking center stage on the Own It Publishing platform. And I have, once again, one of my all time favorite contributing writers with us. She's here in California. She is just very near and dear to my heart. So I'm going to go ahead and bring her on in the house because we have been, what's going on, Lady Cleopatra?
Hello, hello. So happy to be here.
Oh, I'm so excited to have you. And I'm just so excited because we have been talking about falling in love with yourself just unconditionally. This is a series that Lady Cleopatra had. This is really a vision of hers, and this is her passion, helping people just to tap into their self and just being able to be your number one cheerleader. We have gone from identifying that negative self talk, right, Lady Cleopatra?
hmm
I mean, we have discussed so much. So, Lady Cleopatra, please let's just talk a little bit about what it is to just fall in love with yourself unconditionally. For those that have not had a chance to catch the previous, two episodes, just kind of let them know what this is and just kind of what your vision is here and what your message is for our audience.
Yes. Okay. So, the key to falling in love with yourself is being relentlessly positive. Things are going to happen in life. There's going to be obstacles, challenges, struggles. You acknowledge them, but you don't stay in that frame of mind, and you speak life into yourself and into the situation by having positive words, positive thoughts, and that will lead to positive action and positive results. And the more positive you are, the better quality of life that you actually experience. Then you attract more positive people. And in return, like when you're negative, more negative things happen, right? And then it confirms that negativity. So if you flip that and you're more positive than negative, then you will have a better positive experience. So falling in love with you is about forgiving yourself when you do something that is self-sabotaging, like our topic today, and just showering yourself with positive images, music, words, people, environments, and you will love who you are, and you'll be able to share that love with the world.
Oh, I love it. I love it. And please share a little bit about your background and just a little bit about what you do and what makes you such a subject matter expert in this particular area.
Yes, so I was the people pleaser. I'd never really tapped into like who am I? What do I like? What don't I like? We tend to conform to our environments, whether it's family, our peers, our coworkers. And I used to just be negative all the time, and I could only see the negative in things. I was very sarcastic. I was very pessimistic.
Mm.
And in turn, that led to depression, just always being sad because I was focusing on things going wrong. So after my suicide attempt in 2019, that helped me open my eyes that I want more. And in order to get more out of yourself, out of life, you have to be positive. You don't ignore things are going wrong, right? Because then you're not in balance. But when I started to be positive no matter what and say uplifting things to myself,
Mm-hmm.
that is what changed the trajectory. We talked about last time how even plants, if you speak life into a plant, it grows.
Right.
And if you speak death into the plant, it dies. And we are the same thing. We work the same way. And like I said, we're with ourselves 24 hours a day. So we have
Right.
the biggest impact on our lives. And it's just one positive word at a time. And I'm telling you, it works. It's not easy. It doesn't mean I don't have days where I'm not negative, but I don't stay in that negative energy.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's, I think, the most important part is we all go through stuff. I mean, that's
Hmm.
life, I mean, I can remember being down into just what I felt was, just the lowest of the low. I mean, now that I have a little bit different perspective on things and look at like the world, around me, but it just, man, you
Hmm.
have to learn to just bounce back, and that's what I think that's I have two words or two phrases really for 2024, and it's bounce back, and it's also no ceiling, because there's
Ooh, yes,
no ceiling as to what you can achieve if you just believe that you can do it.
yes,
So,
that is so true.
oh
And we're
my
going to
goodness.
talk about that, just not settling. I settled in every area of my life, financially,
Mm,
romantically, and I thought it was safe. And
yeah.
we're going to talk about triggers too. And so I didn't realize that it's because I was abandoned. It was because I was scared to open up and I didn't realize it. And so I did certain things that made me not available to life experiences. I
Mm,
wasn't stepping outside the box. I wasn't, reaching for the stars. I'm like, go to get a job, go to work, go home, and that's not thriving. It's not flourishing. There's nothing wrong with, you know, providing for your living expenses, but life is more adventurous than that, and we got to get our own way.
we do. You are so right. We got to get out of our own way. Well, look, we're going to go ahead and we're going to cut to a quick commercial break, and then we're going to come back and we're going to talk a little bit about some of the triggers that we have, and some of the things that we do to kind of just sabotage ourselves
Hmm.
in those good relationships, whether they be romantically, whether they be friendships or anything like that. So we'll be right back. All right, and we are back. That was Upscale Biz Solutions, and they are very, very awesome. If you are looking for any type of editing, any type of commercials, things like that to really up level your business, you definitely want to talk to Charles over at Upscale. So, all right, we are back with Lady Cleopatra. This is Phoenix Fitness Fanatics Magazine, elevating your mind, body, and spirit. And we are talking about falling in love with yourself. This is part three of just an amazing series, amazing conversation that we've been having with Lady Cleopatra. Now we're going to talk about just some of that self sabotage and like those triggers and what leads us to that self sabotage, right? Because the struggle is real, right, Lady Cleopatra? I mean,
Yes, yes. Not only am I a spiritual life coach, but I'm also a toxic relationship and healing expert. And, especially when it comes to romantic relationships, it's so easy to say, oh, I want this, 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 and this. But
mhm.
I'm learning we have to be prepared for greatness. Like people win the lottery, right? And they don't have any financial background. And some people go broke. You know
Woke.
what I mean? Right. So imagine finding the love that you've been looking for, but you didn't prepare yourself because you didn't know how you sabotage yourself. You didn't know,
Hmm.
what your triggers were, and you run someone away. And so we don't think about that. So we got to get prepared for the love that we say we want.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And I think, you know, we have had quite a few conversations before, and I know we were talking backstage, and one of those like things that we do to sabotage ourselves, right? When we're in these relationships, is we get in them and they're not really serving us. And the reason why they're not serving us is because we are not being ourselves. We're doing all
Mm-hmm.
these different things to show up as someone that they want us to be, but
Mm-hmm.
not who we really are. We're pushing down and we're stifling who we really are. And it's to satisfy them, a lot that
Right.
person, right? And it's like, well, why do we do that? What
Right. It's
what is that
funny
all
that
about?
you say that. So, growing up, especially in high school, like having a hood guy was everything, right? It's just, I don't know, he had like this swag that just was like, oh, I want some of that. And, once I got into that type of relationship, when you're dealing with someone who is like in the streets or, doesn't have any kind of foundation, you don't realize you come second. You come
Right.
last. And a lot of the people, especially when they come from the streets, they are taught to put their girl on the back burner. So I
Mm-hmm.
end up realizing I like this street guy, but he's trained to not even value me. So because he's not valuing me, I'm not valuing me.
Right.
He's, doing X, Y, and Z, and I'm accepting it because I'm thinking like if I want to be with him, this is part of the package, but I'm not
Yeah.
speaking up. I'm not saying I don't like how you're treating me. I don't like that you're not being faithful. And so, yeah, just really recognizing and asking yourself, why do you like this? And then, you can go after something and give yourself permission to say, I tried it, but that's not for me. Don't force
Yeah.
it and stay in it. Well, I already dated him, so let me just give him another 10 years. Oh, we had a baby together. Let me just marry him. No, if
No.
it doesn't
No.
feel good and safe, it's not for you, you know?
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. And see, and that's the mistake that people do make, is staying in that. And you just said something that really stood out to me right now, is staying there for the kids,
Mm-hmm.
staying there for others. You're staying there for the kids when you're teaching these kids that, you know what, toxic is okay and toxic is not okay. You're settling for this, and then you're teaching them
Mm-hmm.
how to settle for that, which is just it's just it's ridiculous. It has to be one of those cycles
Right.
that needs to be broken, and it needs to
Mm-hmm.
start with us, right? It
Yes.
needs to start with us to say, okay, you know what, no, I deserve better,
Mm-hmm.
and the kids deserve better. So then when they see
Right.
I deserve better, now they have that whole mindset of I deserve better. Mom deserves better.
Mm-hmm.
She wants better. I deserve better. Right. So
Yeah,
just
I mean, we say it's for the kids, but kids know when we're not happy. They know
right.
when we're sad or they hear us crying at night,
Yeah.
so, and we're not looking at that,
No.
you believe what you tell yourself. And
Yeah.
that's almost like scary and dangerous. And that's why it's so important to tell yourself positive things and really check in with yourself. I'm learning that A real healthy relationship helps you love yourself more. And if
Yeah.
that person has you hating yourself and doubting your existence,
Hmm.
it's
Nah.
not for you.
They need to go. They need to go.
Mhm.
That person needs to have you just, loving yourself, loving exactly who you are, and loving the authentic self. I mean,
Mhm.
when you can just be completely you. Like if you want, I mean, I know for myself being in the relationship that I'm in, I can do some silly stuff, and this is stuff where I am just being a child. And I can laugh at it, and he can laugh at it too, and just shake his head and just keep on pushing because he just knows that's just me,
That's
and
beautiful.
that's where you want to be. You want to
Yes.
be authentically just you, where you're not worried about it.
Right. You
You're not
don't
trying
feel
to hide
judged.
anything. You don't feel
Right.
judged. You don't
Mhm.
feel pressure. It doesn't feel
Mhm.
like work.
Right. Right.
When you fall in love with yourself, and other people start to come into that space, it's like when it just flows and there's
Yes.
really not work in it. It's just like, yes, like there's no pressure, it's just, yeah, and that's what you're going to attract as you
Fall in
start
love with you.
yourself.
Yes. Uh-huh.
I mean, and you and I we're going through that journey, and it's just it is definitely a beautiful journey, and I
Mhm.
want to share some of the things, that you have done, to really kind of get yourself to this point here. But we are going to go ahead and cut to a quick commercial, and then please share with us, just think on it and share with us some of those things that really you've put into place to just really tap into you and show others that you love and accept you, and what that's done for you. So we will be right back, everybody, with Lady Cleopatra.
Wait, you want some more? Wait, you want some more? Okay. Wait, you want some more? Wait, you want some more?
I know, right? I'm over here.
Ah, you caught me. Oh my goodness. I just love, love, love those Mupo Entertainment commercials. They just get you out of your seat. And look, big ups to Michelle Mupo over there. If you are looking to bring your podcast to the next level, definitely tap into Mupo Entertainment and Mupo TV. So we are back. This is Phoenix Fitness Fanatics Magazine, elevating your mind, body, and spirit. We have Lady Cleopatra in the house, and we are talking about falling in love with yourself. Stop self sabotaging, right? Because that person could be right there, and you're doing things because you're holding on to the past, and
Right.
we need to be
Right.
letting that go. And that Mr. Right could be there being punished for things that Mr. Wrong did. Okay, so
That's so true. So I want to define self-sabotage. It says
yes.
uh, deliberately damage, block, or impair something that so that it doesn't work as intended.
Mm,
So you are just purposely hating, on you and another person or a situation, whether it's consciously or um, subconsciously. And so, some of the ways that I have, or some top ways to have this self-defeating behavior, it shows up when you want to be perfect. I had to learn that nothing is perfect. When I decided to do my eyewear,
Yeah.
and things weren't going exactly how I wanted it with the designs and stuff, instead of saying I'm gonna wait, I just, started the business and got started. And over time, everything that I'm doing has elevated. But perfectionism is a smoke screen. It's not
Yeah.
real. There will always be mistakes, and that's what makes life beautiful. It helps you laugh. It helps you remember you're a human. Another thing is doing things in excess, not having self-control. That is so important. You know, Having balance is what makes us centered. You don't want to talk too much. You don't want to not talk enough. You don't want to go out every night. You don't want to never go outside. So, having that balance is important. Running on empty. I was the yes queen. Sometimes I would say yes before it would even really register what a person is asking me. And we can't do that. Yes. Because in my heart, it's like, why not? I want to do that. Like, for example, I remember I rented a car for a friend. It was his birthday. And we don't realize, like, renting a car is a big deal. If they don't
Absolutely.
return that car back, or, something happens to the vehicle and it's in my name, and
Right.
things like that can ruin a friendship,
Yeah.
so just asking yourself, like, okay, they're asking me this question. One, is this something I've asked someone else to do? Because sometimes people will ask you to do some outlandish things. Can you co-sign on this car for me? Like, wait a second, like, that's a little deep and personal. Just because you can doesn't mean you should say yes,
Yeah. Yeah.
So definitely, not running on empty. You don't want to do so much for others that you're not doing for yourself.
Yeah.
Procrastination, I'm learning, even when you can't hit that big target goal, set timely mini goals to get to that big goal, but just don't do anything. Don't stop, don't give up. And also, lack of communication is a way that we defeat ourselves. Not saying how
Mhm.
we feel. That is
Oh,
so
that's
important. We
huge.
have to use our throat chakra. I used to, if someone did something to me, I would change my number, my address, my hair color, and I would never explain, because of my abandonment issues and my trust issues, which I didn't know I had at the time. I thought I was protecting myself, right? And it
Hmm.
served me for a while to get out of toxic environments and to leave toxic people. But I'm learning, sometimes someone can offend you and they still deserve to be in your life. So if you communicate and say, this hurt me, and you give someone a chance to fix it, then maybe they can stay. But if you never tell them what was wrong, or
Right.
how they hurt you, you don't give them the chance to work on them, and then you don't get to see if that's someone you can keep in your life. So those are some of the top ways that we defeat ourselves,
Yeah.
with relationships, in all types of relationships.
Relationships, friendships,
Yeah.
business, besties. I mean,
Mhm.
all sorts of relationships can
Yes.
be just really like thrashed because of that lack of communication, right? So
Yes. And
you
not
have
saying
to,
anything is a form of lack of communication.
right.
Like we were saying earlier, just saying yes to everything is not okay. Because what if
No,
it's not a good idea? And you're
right.
saying yes, but in your heart you know it's not good. You're supposed to speak up.
Yeah, absolutely. Like I said, when like you mentioned the throat chakra, we have that
Mhm.
energy system, and if you get a little clogged up in areas, it's gonna manifest into certain things. I mean, energy moves and flows in so many different ways in your body, and you really have to just start to tap in and just listen a little bit as well when it comes to
Mhm.
this aspect, right? Because there are definitely signs that are there that are just telling you,
Yes. Whenever you feel sadness or irritation, That's your body's way of saying something is not right, whether it's the environment, it's the habit, it's a
Mm-hmm.
person,
Mm-hmm.
and recognizing that and respecting that, and being strong enough to say no, this is not for me. You know, you asked earlier, how did I get here? And
Yeah.
one thing that I lacked, how do you know I start falling in love with myself? I didn't have boundaries, you know,
Mm.
and that's going back to people
Yeah.
pleasing and saying yes to everything. And when you don't have boundaries, that's dangerous.
Oh, oh my
It
God.
is, because you're allowing others to lead you down paths that you don't want to go. So, having
Absolutely.
boundaries, um, being loving but firm.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's a hard no, and a
Yep.
no is a complete sentence. And sometimes
That
in the past, yes, in the past, I thought I had to explain myself. I don't have to explain my no. My no is no because I said no. Either you love me or you don't.
right. And you can be mad all you want, but no is no. And it's because I need that no.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? So it just, oh my goodness. And people don't say it enough. And then,
Mm-mm.
like, I have, right now with certain, some people that I'm dealing with, in my life, I'm listening to them and they're telling me that they're sick.
Mm.
And I'm like, wow. And as I'm listening to, their story, they're not communicating, they're keeping it all in, right? They're not talking to those people that they need to because of the other person's feelings,
Mhm.
you know,
Mhm.
or it's, you know what? No, I'll tell them later after XYZ because they're going through something. Well, what about what you're going through?
Right.
Because you're being torn apart, and after a while, you not being able to say, hey, no,
Right.
gotta take a moment, right? It's gonna turn into
Mhm.
something else. It's gonna turn into something else.
Yes, and like you said, when you internalize it, sickness is considered a dis-ease. You are uneasy.
Yeah,
Things should be flowing,
right,
and like you said earlier, it shouldn't be so hard that it feels like work. Yes, relationships are work, right? Because you need to communicate. But if
yeah,
you are jamming a puzzle piece that's not fitting, and you've done everything they asked for and it's still not working, that relationship is not serving you.
right. Release it,
Yeah.
release it,
And love and light, not in anger. You're not
right.
frustrated. Thank you
Give
for
it
the
a hug
experience.
and release
Yes.
it.
Yes. Seriously. Yes. Don't hold on. If you're holding on for dear life, it's not for you. No,
Right.
no matter if it's a job, a family member. Hmm.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I tell you, Lady Cleopatra, like we get on here and time be like,
Yes.
you please give our audience just some words of wisdom, words of encouragement. I mean, because it's kind of hard sometimes to start falling in love with yourself. I mean, there's some people that are really struggling with that. So, what's some words of wisdom or encouragement that you can give to some of our audience out there today?
I used to ask myself, why does it matter if I love me? And I'm understanding and I'm finding out how you treat you is how others treat you. And the
Mm,
energy you give to yourself is the energy that you attract. So if you say you want more love and more happiness and more friendship, but your negative self-talk is dominating your life, you put yourself down, you're in negative environments, you're going to continue to receive that negative energy. So
mm,
just recognizing how being positive is just a powerful tool, and it helps you open up your heart and saying, okay, how am I hurting myself? And then how am I hurting others? Those triggers that we talked about before.
mm-hmm.
And once you're able to really be honest with yourself and forgive yourself, you have to be open to loving yourself. It has to be an interest. You have
Yeah.
to find value in it. So start valuing the fact that you just woke up. You don't have to do anything special. If you woke up, value that, and be positive in everything you do, and it will change your life.
I love that. I love that. Lady Cleopatra, I love your energy. I just love the message that you bring to the world. I love the work that you're doing as a spiritual life coach and just really helping people to just shift,
Hmm.
and find that self-love, right? And just that inner cheerleader that they need. And I love, again, you being part of the Phoenix Fitness Fanatics magazine. I cannot say it enough. You just know that. Love your content. Love them glasses, girl. Okay.
You too.
I'm like, hold up. Wait, let me grab mine real quick. Hold
Yes. Ooh, superstar.
up. So I just, again, I love what you do and I love you being part of our family. So thank you so much for showing up, showing out, and giving a great message on falling in love with yourself. Everyone, just thank you so much for joining us today. Continue to build on that love for yourself because that unconditional love for yourself is the game changer in life. So thank you so much for joining us today. We love you so much, and we will definitely see you next time. Love
Yes.
you. Take care.
Bye.
Take it to the next level.